Standing on the line with us right now, as I said before, former assistant coach and player Anthony Goldwire. Anthony, welcome to Talkin Hoopz, man.
Man, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
All right. And now, what are you up to, man? I mean, obviously, you just coached the Milwaukee Bucks as an assistant last season. What's next for you now? Where are you headed?
Right now, I'm on vacation right now. I'm back in beautiful sunny South Florida, man, visiting my parents and everything. And, just trying to get back in. It's a tough grind. Everybody's trying to get in right now, but, it's something you got to be patient with. And if you love it, that's what happens. You just be patient and wait for it.
All right.
You hear a lot about players, that are free agents. They're all trying to get signed, but at the same time, there's a pool of coaches out there that are also looking to catch on with the team and help develop a team that nobody really even thinks about. Coaches in that regard. So last season you were with the Bucks. The expectations were really high. I mean, Monta Ellis, Brandon Jennings paired in the backcourt. Everybody thought that was going to be big things in Milwaukee. It didn't turn out like that. What were some of the problems that really stood in the way of the Bucks having more success?
I mean, you can point the finger at a lot of different issues, but I just think, the organization as a whole wasn't on the same page. The general manager, from the coaching staff all the way down to the players, we was all on different pages. Myself, as being a part of the staff, we wanted to play a certain style of play with the type of guards and the type of players we had. But, I mean, unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. We made it the first round. We got swept by Miami. But I thought we could have had a better season and kind of finished off maybe at the fifth or sixth spot. But, I mean, it didn't happen. So I think if the organization is ran well from the top and everybody's on the same page, and the instructions coming from, starting from the owner, the GM, and everything else, it kind of trickles down. So, I mean, I don't want to say it was a dysfunctional team, but everybody went on the same page. The coaching staff was here, the players was there, and the management was another place. So, hopefully they can get that, turned around, and, Larry Drew should be able to do a better job or whatever, but it has to start from up top.
Okay. Me and you played in the league, Goldie, as teammates and played in the league, man, against each other. What do you think the difference in the league now is than it was when we played?
Oh, man. Got too many, got a lot of prima donnas in the league now. When I play, you could touch.
I feel you, man.
You could touch. You could play aggressive, guys didn't worry about fighting. Now guys want to be Hollywood now. Everybody they want the limelight. You don't really find those blue collar type players no more. Myself and yourself, we blue collar type players. We go out and just get it done. The money don't come when you play hard and you get wins or whatever. But guys now they don't play for the love of the game no more. I just think.
So it's more about winning Academy Awards than it is winning an MVP award.
Yeah, you could say. I mean, everybody want to make it easy for themselves. They loading up all the different teams and all that, trying to make it easy, which is, I guess is good for media and for the TV hype. But, why not have the whole league kind of spread out or whatever, where everybody just got to grind for it. So, but, I mean, that's what it's about now. It's Hollywood now. It's turned into a TV show.
Right. Yeah. And now, talk about a guy that does a lot of dirty work for the Bucks last season and hopefully this coming season, Larry Sanders. News broke today. He's come to a 4-year agreement with the Bucks. You coached him last season. Could this guy be an all-star in this league? Is the potential there? What do you see in Larry Sanders?
Oh, great upside because he's long, athletic. I think he was first or second in block shots last year. He really can run the floor. Just have to develop a little bit more on his offensive moves. But, yes, he definitely can be an all-star because you got to look in the East at the center position. He really changes the game. He changed the game for us a lot last year. I mean, outside of his little, I guess every player, most of the players in the league go through their little growing pains or whatever. And his thing last year was, getting technical fouls. If he can stay out of trouble like that, and they can kind of corral him and keep his mind focused on basketball, I think he'll be great for the Bucks this year. Well, as of right now, he's the leader of the Bucks now. because all the guys left. I mean, Monte left for Dallas. Brandon's gone for the Detroit. J.J. Redick went with the Clippers. So, I mean, he's the main guy over there now. So he has to, he has to lead that team now.
Yeah. Do you think they got any pieces to make it to the playoffs this year? Do you still see them in the top 8, or you see them falling off?
It's going to be difficult because Washington's better now. They're full. John Wall, he has something to prove now. Indiana's got stronger. Brooklyn's always going to be there now. Chicago, with the help of Derrick Rose, is going to be back. So it's going to be tough for them. I mean, right now, I mean, they solid in the backcourt, but I think they're going to need a lot more. It depends on the type of job Larry Drew does with those guys and kind of get them to buy into the system. He has some weapons over there, but it all depends on if they can kind of overachieve or whatever. But, I mean, it's going to be a tough season for them.
Okay. Was Larry Sanders a vocal leader in that locker room? Because now you mentioned, he's going to have to step up. There were some reports last season that he and Monta Ellis got into some locker room, debates, locker room arguments during the Miami series. Is he a vocal leader? Were there issues that he sort of tried to take care of last year when he saw problems arise?
I mean, when you be a leader, you got to be accountable for things. So you got to be able to take criticism also. I mean, you can give it, but you're not able to take it. So that kind of that doesn't work. So, and also in the NBA, you can't turn it on and turn it off. It's either going to be one way or the other. So meaning you're going to come in every night and play hard. Guys will respect you for that, whether you win or lose. If you go out and give 100% every night, I mean, that's what guys want to. That's what other guys, your peers, your teammates, and coaches would like to see. Then you have their voice to speak. Last year and the year before that, Larry didn't come to play every night. Some nights he took off. So, some guys feel like he didn't have a right to speak. And now once you get in the playoffs, now you feel like you want to talk and this and that. So that was a little gripe on that. Monte's been carrying us the whole year. He played the whole season, kind of ended, but didn't whine or complain. He just played through everything. So, it's a little male ego going on there or whatever, but Monte is one of the captains. And he leads by example. Dunleavy was the other captain. He's more of a vocal leader or whatever. But, I mean, this year Larry has a big burden now. Yeah, he has a lot. He has to continue what he started last year in the playoffs and start over now. Now, at this point, going into September, going into they play, coming up and they pick up games and everything. He has to be their leader to get those guys going. But in order for the team to respect him, he has to do that every single day in practice and at night. Every night going into the games. Even when they win and lose, even the games he have a bad game, he has to do that. So it's going to be a tough burden on him.
Yeah. Talking about respect, man, do you think that the players are taking the lead over teams now, man? Because back in the day when we played, like I played for Pat Riley, he was like the mega of basketball. He was like whatever. It was his way or the highway. I think now,
players lead. You ain't got to say no more. You ain't got to finish that question.
Do you think it's a
players
difference?
league.
You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Players taking over the league now.
If you get 2 or 3 more players that don't like you, the coach is fired. It's automatic.
Wow.
That's what it's about now. I've seen it. Unfortunately, my first stint in the NBA was with the Bucks. I spent 3 years with them. Scal did an incredible job of we had pure talent over there, but it's just you can't put a bunch of guys that a bunch of knuckleheads rather. We had a bunch of knuckleheads, and when you get a bunch of knuckleheads, they always looking. The boat was always kind of rattling and kind of about to tip over. And once he kind of left, it flipped over all the way up. We had a hole in the bottom. It just started sinking.
Right.
So if you don't have any structure, if you don't come in the door like the San Antonios, the Oklahoma City, the Miamis, you don't come in the door, or if you don't have that leader, that already lets you know, like LeBron, they just follow him. And who wants to mess that up? Nobody. Who wants to mess what Tim Duncan has or Tony Parker has? Who wants to mess up what Kevin Durant has? So, nobody wants, so the guy, but they do a good job of picking their guys to come over there to be in their organization. Right. And everybody else, they just got to go fit in. So, guys now, teams are trying to get better, but the most part in the league, it's a bunch of knuckleheads, man. They just want to make the money, show off for the TV camera, and that's it. Go party all night and do whatever. Nobody plays for the love of the game no more. I mean, if you get the accolades, so what? But, that's just my personal feeling, just whatever it is. I mean, I just think it's a players' league, but there's no more respect for the coaches now.
Now, could this be the reason why the Bucks decided to pretty much just completely come back with a new roster? I mean, Monte Ellis is gone, Brandon Jennings is gone. Those are two key players from last season. Now going with O.J. Mayo, bringing in Luke Ridnour from the Timberwolves. You know, I mean, what do you think? You think that attitude, the way the guys are getting along, what happened with Scott Skiles, do you think that all ties into the reason the Bucks decided to go in the direction they went in?
Well, first of all, Skiles, they didn't fire him. He left. He walked away.
Right.
He wanted out. He wanted out because of the situation. There was nothing being done with the knucklehead players we had. We couldn't control them. I mean, every coach has their limits. I mean, there was no way he was going to be able to finish the year without, having confrontation with some of the players. But most of the players who left, they didn't want to be there. Monte didn't want to be there. Brandon didn't want to be there. He talked about it for a year and a half about not wanting to be there. Yeah. They offered him 4 for $40 October 31st last year. And he didn't take it. He wanted more. So, I mean, J.J. Redick didn't want to be there. So, guys, they didn't want to be in the organization for whatever reason. I don't know what their personal feeling was, but they felt like they can go to there's a better situation because the organization wasn't ran right. Now, I don't know. Senator Cole, those guys provided for me and my family. I don't have anything against those guys, John Hammond, but obviously the guys, they figured that they need to run the organization a little better, have more control of the organization, and they didn't do it, so the guys didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
That's, that sounds like a culture thing, and I guess you got to break down before you build up again, so blowing up and starting over is probably the only choice that they had. I mean, when you
they had to. They wasn't. I mean, if you can't go in the situation what happened with Brandon this summer, with trying to sign Jeff Teague to offer sheet, that would have been a touchy situation trying to bring him back and try to make him think that he was going to be the player to get 100% Brandon Jennings, because he wasn't going to go for that. Because he already know now you tried to get rid of him and get him from around there. So that was the next best thing to get him out of there anyway. And Monte, he wasn't. If he didn't feel like he had a chance to get to the second round or third, or maybe to the Eastern Conference, finals or whatever, he didn't want to be there. And then he didn't like the makeup of the team, and he didn't feel like the team had gotten better, so he didn't want to go there back anyway. And JJ was just totally against it from the beginning.
Wow, interesting. Well, we were talking about earlier about the Eastern Conference, if we think the Bucks can make it, and this has kind of been like an ongoing thing with us with the Eastern Conference and how it's going to shuffle out. Besides the top powers, Miami, New York, Indiana, Washington, as you mentioned, really got better. Detroit, in my opinion, is probably the team that improved the most over the offseason. They got a ton of talent. But where I'm going with this is that I think that Greg Monroe, Josh Smith, and Andre Drummond will all end up starting, and you got 3 guys who can kind of all play the same position. Do you see this league transitioning into a positionless league? I mean, you got LeBron playing 1 through 5. You got all these guys playing out of position at the same time. It's kind of, a little uncharacteristic when you think of how it used to be. Is that the way the league is going? It's like you're not defined by you're a shooting guard, this is what you do. You're a small forward, this is what you got to do. Do you see that at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting more that way. But, back when Allen Iverson, he changed the league from being an undersized 2 guard. He changed the league back then. And now they just kind of, LeBron and Durant and Melo them kind of just piggybacked and went to a bigger guard. LeBron took it to a whole nother level by being, he can average a triple-double if he wants to, because he's, at 6'8" can pass and run like a guard and everything. So the league is definitely transitioning to like an any position type player. They just putting you out there. If you can kind of create an advantage for your team to win ball games and have a mixed match problem against your opponent, then you're going to get a chance to play. It's all about trying to jockey for position, trying to make the other team play the way you like them to play. Play the way your style of basketball is. So, of course, you're going to go with a big lineup. Now you got LeBron running the 1, so you can sit Chalmers and Coles down. Now you got LeBron running the 1, Wade at the 2. Come on, Ray Allen, you may go big underneath. So you got, Oden and you got Bosh. So that's an incredible lineup, man. How did you
guys game plan for the Heat for the playoffs? Now, were you planning on,
was that?
Let's take out Wade, let's take out Bosh? How did you guys approach that series?
That was tough. See, we felt they was kind of a little lazy on defense. They kind of turned it up a little whenever they wanted to. We felt what our thing with Skiles, well, we was a grinded out type team. When we with him, we was kind of stingy on defense. We kind of loaded up. We had a couple guys that can kind of match up, not kind of stop him, but kind of match up with LeBron a little bit. We had Luke Bamute, and you know those guys can really bother him. And with our type of defensive scheme, we can kind of bother him a little bit. We don't want to stop him, but we can bother him. You know, Skiles had a pretty good plan. Actually, we beat him 2 years ago twice out of 3 times, and last year we beat him once. And had him again, but Monte missed a shot to win the game, and we lost in overtime to him. So, and then in the playoffs, they gave us 2 games at home that we didn't even take advantage of. Wade didn't play one, and we was up by 10 in one of the others. You know, they didn't even really want to play, so they was kind of cruising. You know, so we kind of matched up with them pretty well, but we just wanted to kind of make it tough on LeBron, you know, just kind of keep him, body him a little bit more, kind of get him off kilter a little bit, but difficult task to stop, man. And in transition, they wanted, if not the best team in transition, and Bosh just kind of run him off the spot of Jays or whatever, you know, and just kind of we knew those 3 guys were going to do that, just kind of keep Battier and Chalmers and Cole, and the Birdman kind of hurt us this year. He hurt us a lot. Coming in with the energy, him and Cole, they really changed the game for them this year. So, I mean, what more can I say? And they want to win the championship. But like I said, the last part of the season, man, once Skiles left, it was downhill. Our last 50 games, we were just trying to piece it together. We kind of earned ourselves a good cushion. But me personally and a couple of other coaches thought, man, we had at least 10 more games in the season. We probably wouldn't have made the playoffs because it was going downhill going into the playoffs. So. Right. We didn't have a good vibe, a good feel going in, but hey, we made it. We just figured the guys would kind of rally and just say, let's just relish the moment or cherish the moment. We're playing against the #1 team in the NBA. Let's try to put something together, and I mean, it backfired on us, but I mean, chance to get in the playoffs or whatever, so it was cool.
You did the best with what you had.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Do you think the defensive element of the game is changing? Because you got to look at the finals. Indiana gave the Heat a couple of games. Then, you know, you got every series they were giving games, you know. Even in the finals, the game 6, that game was given to Miami. San Antonio gave it to Miami, you know. So, do you think the defensive element is changing? Because what I'm looking at is a lot of teams are following that Miami Heat
it's not
no center.
It's not more of a defensive game now.
It's
more of an offensive. It's an offensive thing. It's an offensive game now. The league is changing to people want to see a lot of dunks and highlights and everything. They want guys to run up and shoot threes and get out of transition and throw lobs and the and one stuff and the between the legs, behind the back. They don't really reward people for good defensive play now. I mean, then you see teams trying to turn it up in the playoffs and all that. Then it still get even. I mean, there's more points when it scores. Look at the Denver and Golden State series. Look at every time Golden State played. It wasn't no, you know, they played hard, but it wasn't like the old Knicks and the old Heat back in the day.
Nah.
Or Indiana, New York. It wasn't nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Where the score was in 75-65, and it's a grind out every possession. They about to go to blows, flip the cup. It wasn't like that. But the league is changing.
The only player that plays like that is Noah. Joakim Noah. He the only player that plays like that.
He did it in the Brooklyn series. He showed up. He did it.
Yeah.
He tough. No, he's still one of the tough nose guys left. One of them.
All right.
Yeah, I take him. I take y'all guy down there. I take Haslam. I take him. He'll be a blue collar guy.
Pizza also plays like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anthony Goldwire, former Bucks coach and former player. Awesome having you on the show. Look forward to having you on again. And, hey, enjoy that Miami weather, man. And, good luck going forward with everything.
I will appreciate you guys for having me, man. Good luck the rest of the way. Looking forward to being again with you guys. And, man, y'all have a blessed day.
All right.
You too, man. Call me, man. Call me. We'll do lunch or something.
All right, straight, no doubt. Keep me posted.
All right down the street. All right, later. Appreciate it, Goldie.